Alright boys, welcome back to another video. Knicks Daily here. Today we're going to be reacting to our official full schedule, which did drop a few hours ago today. Starting off with the Boston Celtics. That is a huge game for us because the Celtics are going to be raising their banner. They're going to be having the ring ceremony. Why not go and spoil it? That's the team we're chasing. That's why we traded for Mikal Bridges, is to match up with the Celtics in the playoffs. The second game is against the Indiana Pacers. That is a home game. So is the Cleveland Cavaliers following it. Then things get extremely difficult at Miami, Detroit, Houston, Atlanta. That means we're playing 4 straight road games. Milwaukee, which is home, at Indiana, at Philadelphia. I mean, that is just an absolute brutal stretch, the first 10 games. If we're able to go 7-3, I'd be extremely pleased. Even if we went 6-4, I don't think it would be the end of the world. That is, without question, our hardest stretch. We do have another stretch that's pretty difficult as well. From February 21st through May 17th, we have 10 games against teams in the playoffs last year. There is a 5-game West Coast trip featuring the Lakers, Warriors, Kings, visiting as well to Cleveland, Boston, and Memphis. Memphis is going to be a lot better than they were last year, of course, with Ja Morant and Zach Edey. I don't think that's the worst stretch in the world, though. The Knicks did pretty good last year at West. I don't know why they wouldn't this year. I think 6-4 is realistic in the first 10 games. We have some big-time guys coming off of surgery. Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle being the biggest names of them. I don't think we'll get off to like the craziest start in the world, but I do think the middle of the season is when we'll start to get hot and establish ourselves as one of the best teams in the NBA. Outside of the first 10 games, though, let's take a look at who we're playing, man. I'll pull it up for you guys. So we're going to be going up against Chicago, Brooklyn. I mean, those are back-to-back home games, guys. So Friday and Sunday, and November 15th and 17th, we'll be facing the Nets at home. The 18th, which is a back-to-back, is at home against Washington. So we've got 4 straight home games, but then we've got 5 straight road games. So that's pretty crazy. And then we're at home for 4 straight games from the 1st through the 7th. We do play on my birthday. We face the Orlando Magic at home on my birthday. Hopefully we can pick up a win. That game is nationally televised on TNT. So we got those games, and then we've got 3 straight road games: Toronto, Minnesota, and New Orleans. Not the easiest schedule. I mean, the T-Wolves and the Pelicans, I think, are going to be NBA contenders. And then we're at home against the Raptors and the Spurs. The 25th is a huge game. It is going to be on Christmas. Well, for those of you that celebrate it, it's going to be then. Wemby getting a nationally televised game on that day is insane. The Knicks are the first game, which I always hate because I'm always the busiest that day during 11, and the Knicks always play. And I feel so bad because my family wants to spend time, especially because I don't live on the East Coast anymore. I live down south. So it's like I come home, and then they're in the other room, and I'm watching the Knicks. Like, that's how obsessed I am with the Knicks, man. So not great, but nothing I can do about it. I certainly will be watching that game and getting you guys a video when I get home, probably a few hours after the game. We'll have to wait and see. In terms of Isaiah Hartenstein's return, I believe it's early January, if I remember correctly. Yeah, January 3rd, Friday, Isaiah will make his return against the Knicks. That game is in OKC, so yeah, I mean, not that that's really means much, but and of course Knicks fans are always gonna have love for him. He ended up taking the money, which he deserved. He was one of the best centers in the league last year. He was big for us, and I wish he could have took a pay cut, but he had to do what was best for him and his family. And of course, he wants to expand his role. Tibbs wouldn't let him shoot the ball, so that was a huge reason why he ended up going to OKC. I know a lot of Knicks fans are like, "Oh, he just took the money." It was to expand his game as well. And then, okay, so we were just talking about that Christmas game. After that is at home against, I'm in just January right now, my bad, guys. Okay, so after that is going to be at Orlando, at Washington twice, versus Utah at home, and then at OKC, at Chicago, versus Orlando, versus Toronto, versus OKC. So January 10th, Isaiah will make his return to the Garden, assuming he's healthy and playing, at home against Milwaukee, at home against Detroit, and then at Philadelphia. That's a pretty soft schedule. Detroit, Toronto, Chicago, like I don't think Utah is going to be that great. Washington, the Magic are going to be pretty solid, man. They'll probably be pretty good. So, but that's really not a tough schedule. So that's very soft for the Knicks. I think that's when we're going to have that month where all of a sudden we're pushing the Celtics for that 1 seed. And then we're going to be taking on, I completely forgot where I was. Was it Denver, right? So January Let's just go to January 25th. So Kings, January 27th, Memphis, January 29th, Denver. So 3 very good teams in the West are going to be visiting us at home. And another team that I think is going to be pretty solid is the Lakers. That's Saturday, February 1st. February 3rd is the Houston Rockets. So that's a lot of good teams, man. So that soft stretch the Knicks had before that, they're going to have to lock in, because there's a lot of teams that are going to come into the Garden and try to beat us. And of course, the Garden is a home game, but a lot of players seem to elevate their play against the Knicks in that building, the world's most famous arena. We've got Toronto on Tuesday, February 4th, Boston on the 8th of February. That's a home game. Indiana, the 11th, back-to-back against the Hawks on the 12th. February 20th, so we've got some time off due to All-Star Weekend. Chicago Bulls, Cleveland Cavaliers, and Boston, so those are both road games. Back home against Philadelphia. And then we have the Memphis Grizzlies and Miami, the 28th and the 2nd. March 4th, Golden State Warriors. That's a home game. And then we have a huge West Coast road trip. So March 6th is the Lakers. March 7th is the Clippers. March 10th, the Kings. March 12th, Portland. March 15th is the Golden State Warriors. We're back home on the 17th against the Heat. 19th, we play the Spurs. 20th, back-to-back against the Hornets. 22nd is versus Washington. 25th is at home against the Mavericks. The 26th is the Clippers. That's a back-to-back. The 28th is at Milwaukee. The 30th is versus Portland. And then into April, guys, following like the end of the stretch. So the next 13 days, we're going to go up against the Sixers, Cavs, Hawks, Suns, Celtics, Pistons, Cavs, and Brooklyn. Overall, the Knicks, according to my count, are going to have 34 nationally televised games, 10 apiece on TNT, ESPN, and NBA TV. We have 4 on ABC. We had 25 primetime games last year, so you can see people are starting to take the Knicks more seriously. The Lakers have 39, which is just ridiculous. I mean, come on. The Lakers are like barely a playoff team. The Warriors have 36. The Warriors have more than us, a team that didn't even make the playoffs last year. I mean, Steph Curry is Steph Curry. I'll give him his respect. That's the only reason. And then the Celtics also have 34. So we've got as many nationally televised games as the team that won the championship, which is pretty impressive. I'm definitely looking forward to that. But guys, that's essentially the schedule breakdown. In my next one, I'm going to be talking about my expectations for the Knicks, and I'm going to be getting into Mitchell Robinson and why I am very, very skeptical of him next season. And that's why I even probably would be for trading for Clint Capella if we were to package Mitch for Capella. Just for the durability standpoint, I probably would do it, but that will be in the next video, guys. Peace.